right? And the big question is, one question that I'd always wanted to know, because this is where you got to start it. You got to start from the beginning with race and who you is. And one thing that I always wanted to know as a child was, where did all the races come from? Where did all the races come from, right? And I used to ask my mother, you know, hey, where did the Chinese and the Japanese and, you know, the white guy and, you know, all these other different races come from? And she used to tell me, oh boy, you know, God made us different colors on top, but underneath we all the same. Always knew that it was something more than that wasn't the truth. All the years that I went to public school system, I was raised in a public school system. I had a couple of years of private schools, Christian school. But all the years that I went to school, you know what I'm saying, none of my teachers could answer that question. I was born and raised in the church, the Christian church. You know, I was in church 7 days a week. I went to a Christian school Monday through Friday. Saturday I had a Ursha board and a choir rehearsal, and Sunday was church. You know, so I asked the question to my preacher, you know, where do we come from? He couldn't answer. You know, he gave me the same answer my mother. You know, all my counselors, you know what I mean, sociologists that I talked to, psychologists, none of these cats could answer these questions. You know, but this question is what never answered to me until, unfortunately, I caught a case and went to state penitentiary, right? And I ran into those gorillas, you know what I mean? And those gorillas taught me, you know what I mean, what I have been trying to find on walking around in society my whole life. And my reality is that it's a long story, I can't get into it now, but the reality is that the black man in existence, he is the oldest man in the world, and that he built the pyramids, he built he had the first religion, he had the first science, he had the first medicine. And when you break all this stuff down, you understand me, and you put it in perspective to where, okay, well, who am I, you know, as a black man? What's the difference between me and the white man? Who's the next one up the ladder? But to this day, ain't over 25,000 years old. A lot of people don't know that the white race ain't even 25,000 years old. But yet you got the black race that's 3-4 million. How the hell that happened, Captain? You know what I mean? And there's an explanation to explain all that. And there's an explanation to explain our reality and how long we've been on the face of the earth and our contributions to society and what we have been doing. And once you educate kids from this perspective, then you will have a generation that's growing up to be somebody. Just like when I was a kid, you know, I was into games when I grew up, but I didn't know nothing about Shaka Zulu. I didn't know nothing about King Tut. If somebody would have told me that there was a boy 12 years old that ran the whole empire, you know, his name was 12 years, he was 12 years old, his name was King Tut, I probably would have had more emphasis on who I am as a black kid, you know what I mean, and black reality as in general. But I was deprived of all these, just like my sisters, if they would have known who Queen Hatshepsut was, you know what I mean, or who Nefertiti was, you know what I mean, or who Queen Nzinga. A lot of people don't know about Queen Nzinga. 17 years old, you know what I mean, she was a general, you know what I mean, in the military, leading grown men to battle, thousands of men to battle, and she never lost a battle. At 17 years old, she never lost a battle. Now, if other sisters knew about this, then our reality would be different than what it is now. It's like I said, we got this false capitalist identity because of this is the society that we in right now. And this is the society that leads to our death. This is what leads to black genocide. This is what the reason why come all these drugs are being pushed up in our community, all these prisons are being, is because it's either for us to either deal with their reality, you know what I mean, or accept this false reality, because they're gonna straight up whitewash us. And so this is like a 2 or 3 part lesson, because this history, you know what I mean, go on and on and on and on to the break of dawn. But I really want to get back. I'll come back later in another show, and I would tell folks exactly how the black man turned into white. You know what I mean? And how the Chinese came from everything else, and how the Mexicans and so forth and so on. And so that's what the next lesson is going to be about.
Well, right on. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And, you know, I just really give thanks to the Most High for having an opportunity to learn about our history from a real brother. We give thanks and praise for your continued commitment, the time and energy that you expend in servitude to your people in our community for the upliftment of our people and the improvement of our quality of life. And this is one brother that lives it. So, and that's about being the truth, the way, the truth, and the light. So again, thank you, General, and we look forward to having you. Oh, my pleasure. We look forward to having you back to continue on this subject, so we can have a found reality.
That's right.
Because to know thyself is to know the truth, and knowledge is power.
That's right.
Thank you again, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of True News that you can use interviews. And we got Soul here. We keeping the soul on Skid Row, giving credit where credit is due, just telling some truth.
Power to the people.